Hello, everybody, and welcome to 3 Years AMA. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm happy that you're live with us. And of course, I hope you will be enjoying this AMA. I have to say, it is something special, or at least it will be, because we are not sure if Sandi will be able to join us or not. Why am I saying this? Because we just talked, I think it was at the latest AMA, that we have like a chain of AMAs every Wednesday going live, and or Sunday or me, we never have missed this AMAs. And I hope that he makes it today. He's somewhere in Africa in safari, and he will get connection just to say hello. Then he will be with us. But in the meantime, Anita Mlakar is my name. I'm the host of this AMAs, and it's really nice to have you here. I would also like to invite to be a part of our communities. We are on Discord, on Twitter, on Telegram, and everything is happening there. So you can just join us, you can ask questions, you can find out all about what 3Air is doing, and I would really like to see you there. You can also subscribe to YouTube channel. We are live here every Wednesday. Of course, you will get notified when we're going live, and you can also recommend us to a friend if you think this would be something that he or she would like. Yes, this is what we're doing. And every time I'm just giving a short introduction of our project. So if you're not familiar with it yet, you will be now. What we're trying to do is connect the unconnected, bank the unbanked, and we are actually connecting Africa and people of Africa to internet. We're doing that with two technologies, K3 Last Mile Solution and our 3Air Internet. And once you are connected to internet, you get digital identity from us. And of course, you can identify yourself with it. We also create your digital bank account. We are giving you a wallet. And all this time, we are educating you. And this is the real empowerment. So once we put you through all these steps, you are connected, you are banked, and you are empowered. And you have financial tools, the revenue streams, and you have the knowledge. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being a part of this, let's say, mission that is doing a wonderful job. And we have, like I said, a very special AMA today. Maybe Sandi will be joining us in a couple of minutes, maybe. But we have a very, very special guest with us today, and I'm really happy that I can invite him in. Hello and welcome. Dustin Plantholt, CEO of Plantholt Advisory Group, is with us. Hello and welcome, Dustin.
Thank you for having me, Anita, and it's a pleasure to virtually meet everyone who's tuning in today.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you for taking time. I know that you're a very busy man, with a reason, of course, but we would really like to hear more about you today and about your work. And this is actually a great opportunity to have this interview, let's say one-on-one, since Sandi is not with us today. Just let me say two more sentences about you, if, of course, you allow me. So you are a self-confessed digital asset enthusiast, the founder, like I said, of Plantholt Advisory Group, the founder of lifestuff.com. Forbes Monaco event magazine granted you the title, The Count of Monte Crypto, and so on and so on. So it is really, really special to have you here, Dustin.
Well, it means a lot. What I have is experience. I've been able to ask a lot of questions of a lot of very smart people and ask them where they see things are likely to go. And well, you know this, Anita, success leaves clues, and
Yeah.
so do failures.
Well, Dustin, because I did say something about you at the beginning, and there is so much more to say, we will eventually come to that. I would really like to find out, where were you inspired and how did you get this idea to be where you are right now? To do what you're doing. How did it all start?
It started with being curious. I had heard about this thing called Bitcoin. I'd heard about this technology called blockchain, and I wanted to know more about it. And I went on Google, and there's only so much information, while Google can give you a lot. I wanted to interview people. I wanted to ask them what their thoughts were. And so I owned a media company, and I still do, called lifestuff.com. I have a mission in life, and that my mission is to help others tell their stories. For no fault of my own, I was born into a family where I ultimately went into foster care. And I recognize that life's tough for people around the world. And now I use my brand, I use my voice to help elevate. And when crypto started to become fascinating to me, it was right after the first initial big crash. And I reached out to Roger Ver, the founder of Bitcoin.com, and I said, Roger, I'd love to ask you what you saw in the early days. And he came onto my show. We developed a really good relationship. And then I had on Hedera Hashgraph and then Jesse Lund. And then from there, I decided to do a documentary series and highlight this world of cryptocurrency. And I called it Kryptonaires. And I went around the world to tell the story about the space, but to do it in a way that would be something that that you and I and our heirs would be proud of. And that is the true story of those that were taking the risk, those that were doing right by those that they've made promises to. So much like your way into this industry, Anita, it was one of curiosity. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I went to go explore it.
You know, one of my guests said educating people is real empowerment, is something special. And yes, of course, connection and internet, we need that, of course, also to be educated. But I think that we need, like me or you, we need this within ourselves, you know, to seek for knowledge, to
That's
know as
it.
much as we can, right?
Absolutely. So I'm a editor for Forbes magazine out of Monaco. And I tell people this all the time. So I have access to ultra high net worth individuals, some of the world's most famous people. And I will tell you that knowledge is the new rich. The knowledge is power. And that knowledge will allow you to level up. But it's by being curious. You've got to remain a learner. And that's what my advisory practice, Plantholt Advisory Group, where it's now been announced that 3Year and Plantholt Advisory is working together, is helping to stand out in this world, to be uncommon. And that's exactly the mission of 3Year, to do something that's life-changing for all of those that you'll ultimately touch. And as someone who came from true poverty and then throughout the foster care, I will tell you that there are many around the world, specifically in Africa, that need what 3Year's bringing. They need inclusion and they need a fair and level playing field.
Well, you said it so nicely. Thank you very much, Dustin. Before we continue, let's just check, because I think that Sandi managed to be with us. Now
We got him. Oh my goodness.
Now, like, he was on right now, and now he's off. Let's just wait maybe for a second or two. We will continue this conversation. I think he's really trying hard, you know, to be a part of this AMA just for a couple of minutes.
And I love that, Anita, because I get to work with founders around the world, as you know, of blockchain companies. It can be AIBC or the Meta Week or Gamium or some other really unique blockchain enabled or blockchain powered companies. These founders, they're under a lot of pressure, and they're expected to work 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. So when I come in on an advisory and I'm working with projects, I help them to prioritize. And I will tell you, that's what I love about Sandi. There he is. Sandi prioritizes. One of the best leaders in the space.
You're here.
How are you? Yeah, finally. I don't think I'll have more than for a few seconds of. We've been literally driving around here for 1.5 hours to find some signal. It is, and it isn't, and it is, and it didn't do anything. Are you hearing me or not? I don't more.
We do hear you. We do also see you. And I'm glad that you managed to come for at least a couple of seconds or minutes, whatever. You're in Safari in Kenya, right?
Yeah, so we are right now in Savo East. And it's really nice here. So, we've seen probably 100 elephants already. We saw some lions. It's really, really nice. But they do need lodges and everywhere.
Yes, they do. If you don't understand it, I think it was more than 100 elephants, right? More than 100 elephants and some lions. And someone is writing right now, don't get eaten by a lion, Sandi. So take care.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Sandi, you got to be very careful.
Really? I know that. So I wanted to pet them, but they didn't let me. I wonder why.
Yeah, well, Don't try
Yeah,
again.
and Sandi, I know you're an accomplished free diver. No swimming in any of the lakes.
It's a specialty here, it's hippo swimming. So there were, I think, 12 hippos in the lake where we are staying at the lodge.
Wow, that's impressive. Sandi, thank you very much for being with us just for a couple of minutes. And so we managed to continue our chain, being here every Wednesday, both of us, for almost a year. It's amazing.
Yeah. So enjoy your time with us. He is really, really a good guy to talk to. He knows a lot about the space, and he is excellent in what he does. So I'm pretty sure this will be a great AMA. And yeah, we're looking forward to our launch right on the 22nd. The tokens have been minted and they're vested, so everything is already on chain, set in stone. So this is for sure happening now.
Thank you very much, Sandi.
Good to see you, Sandi.
Stay alive and healthy and enjoy.
I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Yeah, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. I mean, that's cool. I've got a studio green screen behind me, and you've got a cool house. And look at him. He's out on safari.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about people, busy people, of course, the leaders, those who are trying to make a change. And Sandi is one of them. And what is so special about him, and we were talking also about that in our community, is that he's always there for people. He's really trying, doing an effort to be here every Wednesday to answer every questions in the community. And people are building actually a big circle of trust around 3Air and everything that is going on, maybe, or let's just say, I'm sure also because of Sandi, the first man, and he's giving them a sense of safety, and that this is something serious. What do you think about that?
I think that the ideas are always easy. I get to work with entrepreneurs around the world, and I get to hear a lot of good ideas. Ideas are easy. Execution's the hard part. So what I look to do is work with teams that can deliver, where they can deliver on the promise. They can do exactly what they say they can do. And that comes down to the leadership of what's the time commitment. I have messaged Sandi at 2 in the morning and 3 in the morning, and he responds back to me. So knowing just my interactions with him, again, this is my opinion, but he's hands down one of the most committed entrepreneurs that I've seen in this blockchain space.
Well, that's nice to hear, and I'm sure he will be happy to hear it too later on. So you were starting to talk about your story, about your purpose, Dustin. Do tell us a little more about Plantholt Advisory.
Yes.
What do you do?
So on the advisory side, I work with companies, brands, and individuals to bring them into the Web3, to bring them into the metaverse, to bring them into crypto, to bring them into NFTs or to decentralized finance, to make it easy for them. It's very complicated. Anita, you make it look easy, and Sandi and some of the others, you make it look easy because you now have the experience. You've been doing it. You've been hearing the terms, but there's a lot of people on the sidelines, a lot of major brands that you've heard about that don't really know what to do. They don't know how to come in. And so my advisory practice works with nonprofits like the March of Dimes out of the United States that supports moms and babies. And we help them to build out their Web3 presence, how they can give back, how they can create NFT auctions for those that have lost little ones, to start to bring back this globally the united front, because COVID unfortunately stopped a lot of these events. It prevented a lot of people from getting together and raising money for good causes. So we're actively involved from a charitable, bringing my background, as I said before, is foster care. So I raise money for orphanages, for children who need it and they need help. And the parents that some of them made some bad decisions. Others were born into a situation that you or I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
And then we also work with companies that are in blockchain, that are the best of the best, and we help them grow strategically. And with that comes the learners. We work with 3Air, and I will tell you, Sandi is a learner, and Anita, you are as well, where you guys always ask good questions because our advisory practice has some of the top talent in it globally. I'm very proud to say that we help companies level up, the ones that should.
Such amazing stories. There are so many great minds in Africa. I'm from Europe, and we don't have that feeling. How many startups, how many great companies, how many people, young people with great ideas are there in Africa? But there are, and I was talking to so many people already. They were also guests in this AMAs, and I've learned about that. And so what they're trying to do is show themselves to the world. It is really difficult to do that if you're not connected, or
Yeah.
you have to always, be seeking for some connection to be able to show yourself. Of course, they're doing that inside their communities, but this connection plays a big role.
It does. And I remember many years ago, I went to Morocco and I wanted to buy an item in the desert. And I remember the person that I want, the Berbers, I call him Justin Bieber, but one of the, the Berbers was trying to, I was trying to buy it. And there wasn't any internet signal. There wasn't any connection. I remember thinking back then, boy, if only you could just sync up to a satellite and not have to use a local telecom. Or imagine that you could get access to internet without having to pay a monthly subscription. Could you imagine being able to have that live on demand? And to me, that's what's fascinating is that these blockchain powered companies that are out there that are innovating or solving real problems, maybe problems that you or I say, well, that's not a problem to us. But in certain countries, it is. In certain places around the world, that is not as united as the country that you're in or the group that you're a part of. And I sit on the board of advisors for the European Women's Association. And we have this great opportunity to cover all of Europe. Africa, as you know, each country is a little bit unique and they're a little bit different. One of my business partners in one of my companies is Akon, the big R&B artist. And so I work with his project called Acoin, and they're focused on Senegal. And those are the kinds of partnerships and alliance relationships that we're looking to create. Is bringing companies like 3Air into that mix, and others as well that are looking to make a change, to make a difference, to deliver on a promise, not just promise and underdeliver.
Yes. Dustin, you're working with really a lot of great minds, a lot of great ideas, also startups, entrepreneurs. But you have to have that feeling to recognize a good project from, let's say, a bad project. So what was it that attracted you to 3Air? What was it that became
So that's a great question. I work with an executive coach. So while I'm now at this level where I coach people, I have a coach myself and he's 85. So I'm the ripe old age of 39. And I asked him this recently. I said, when do you know? And he said, you need to trust your gut. Now I have a bunch of boxes that I go through. Okay. Do they check this box? Do they check that box? I'm at a stage in life where only quality people. Now you never know everything about anybody, but I ask questions of people, and some of those questions are confidential. But the questions I ask of people and the questions I asked of Sandi were pretty in depth. And to me, it comes down to, will someone be able to deliver on the things that they said they're going to do, and then also what's their work ethic? I mean, I get on meetings at 5 in the morning and 4 in the morning and 8 in the morning and all hours, and I'll do that on the weekend as well. And I'm at a stage where I don't necessarily have to do it, but many times I get on because I want to know, will the founder come on as well? But it's the trust your gut. And I do have enough experience now to know if something doesn't feel right. Like when someone says, we're going to help 1 billion people, and they can't help someone in their backyard, like, you're not going to help 1 billion people. If you can't help your backyard first, if you can't get a letter of intent, or you can't get a memorandum of understanding, if you can't get some alliance partners before you launch, then what makes you think they're all going to jump on board? And that's what I like about Sandi, is his ability to go out and create activity, because activity does create activity.
Yeah, trust in your gut, listening to your heart, whatever that is. And this is actually what attracted me also to this project. I'm not working in blockchain. I didn't know a lot about crypto. I am a PR consultant, public relations. I do host events and stuff like that. And I was invited to this, and I said, "Oh my God, this is not something that I'm familiar with. This is not so much my field." And then I started to learn from Sandi. He told me what they were doing, and the way he was talking about it, make me think I want to be a part of this. So yeah, I'm learning as I go.
And there's so much to learn. I mean, Anita, isn't it interesting? So I have a new company that's launching called Crypturns. So think of it like, instead of an intern, you're a Crypturn. because I'm a cryptern. I'm still in the learning phase. And while I'm the Forbes Monaco editor for blockchain and crypto, I still ask questions of smart people, because I've learned that when you ask questions of a wise man or a wise woman, you gain knowledge, and knowledge is the new rich.
Yeah, you're so right. We should just do a dot here and stop, but no, we have so much more to say.
All right, let's keep going.
Uh, I was gonna ask, for those who really would like to start a new life or business, or someone who would like to be like you, for example, what does one have to do to become Dustin Plantholt?
Wow. So that's a really good question. I will tell you that it will take commitment and prioritizing your life. I have a lot of mentors, a lot of older mentors, and I have mentors that are both men and women. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of men that will say, I don't have. I go, you should have a female mentor. Absolutely. And there's a lot of women I'd say, I'd recommend having a male mentor, someone that can give you that advice and tell you give you a little bit of tough love in reality. I look at ideas and I go, is this idea something that's important to me? And can I monetize it? Or will it give me my peace? Or will it check something in my life and bring me happiness, or bring me joy, or help to bring back my family members? Or entrepreneurship is hard. If you think you're going to succeed just by telling people, hey, I got a business, it's not going to work like that. If you do not come from Lucky Sperm Club, and that means you weren't born with a famous last name, a great Rolodex, then you're going to have to outwork everybody else. You're going to have to be the first one in and last one to leave. My hours each week are 80 to 100 hours. It took me 9 years before I even took a vacation when I started my business. Why? I hadn't earned it. Like, there are people that were outworking me. How can I say that I had earned a vacation? You have to want it more than those around you. At any one time, you have hundreds, if not thousands, of competitors around the world looking to do the thing that you say is your dream. And I ask people, and I ask them this all the time, was this really your dream, or was this someone else's dream? Because we will be very, as our species, that we like to see what others have and say, I want that. And I go, but do you really want it? I mean, I've met with some of the world's greatest minds. I have interviewed some of the most powerful people in the world, from Nobel physicists to Jerry Springer, to Vander Holyfield, to Gene Simmons, to Wyclef Jean, to Jim Rogers. And I would tell you, they're not competing with anybody but themselves. They ask themselves at the end of each day, did I give it all I had? Did I give it all I got? Because when you're judging it based on yourself, then you're going to succeed. Because if you're truly in a business or creating something that is sustainable, then there's going to be others out there like you. They say birds of a feather flock together. There's going to be someone out there like you that say, I want to partner with you. I'd like to work with you. But not all ideas are good ideas, and not all ideas should be done right now. Some of them might take 5 years, but it comes with a cookbook. What is your cookbook? If you don't have a recipe, you won't succeed. Chaos rarely wins. It takes order, but you can take all that chaos and turn it into a recipe. So Anita, I don't know what your favorite meal is, but I love banana cream pie, dessert. In order for me to have banana cream pie, it's a recipe. And if I follow the recipe, I will have a positive outcome. Now, how many people treat their goals like that? How many people treat their dreams like that? Here's the recipe to get there. And are they asking people? So Dan Pena, one of my mentors, said, Dustin, show me your phone. I gave him my cell phone. He was flipping through. And he said, show me your friends and I will show you your future. If you want your business to succeed, if you want to be different than everybody else, then I would say, who are the people that you're looking to for advice? Who are the people that you're looking to for counsel? You expect to level up, yet you have people around you that are amateurs. It's always good to have at least one or two high performance people around you. Even that boss that you might think is a narcissist, you can learn from them, because high performance people level you up. I do a lot of talking. So thank you, whoever gave that lovely comment.
But like you said, surround yourself with people that know more than you do, that know different things than you do. And then, of course, you will be able to learn from them. I have one question, Dustin. I would really like to hear your opinion. There is so much talk about self-love lately, If you're doing enough of self-love, and first you have to love yourself, then, of course, everybody else will love you and you will be good at your business. But I do have that feeling sometimes, especially people in business are a lot of times hiding, behind this self-love. Like, I'm not doing this now because I love myself. I will not be here in this meeting today because first I have to take care of myself. I don't know, I do love myself, and because I'm
Yeah.
not good at voice today, I wouldn't be here right now. So is this something that we should really, consider, self-love so much? Or is it something being misused?
That's a great question. And I don't know which personality. I can only tell you from my experience is unless you know yourself, you got to get to know me. Most people will go their entire lives not even knowing what they want. I mean, could you imagine that? That you don't know what you want. And to me, if you don't know what you want, then it's going to be like the wind. Every day is going to be something new. Every day is going to be something different. And some people will eke their whole lives. I believe that most people at the end of their lives, they will regret all the things they didn't do, the business they should have started, the relationship that they should have healed, that they should have mended, the place they should have traveled to for the experience, the company that they should have worked for, but fear kept them and paralyzed them. And this idea of self-love, if there's an old saying that goes, you're never alone. So as long as you like the person you're with. So to me, your goal as a person, your goal as our species really should be that is to get to know yourself, to become a better you, because that's what your heirs need. You're the heir to their story. You inherited your mom, dad's mom, dad's mom, dad. Many people complain that they're not a Rockefeller family or they weren't so your ancestors made some different decisions. So make it different for your heirs. What are you doing to make it? It's not going to be easy. No one's going to hand it to you. No one's going to walk up and say, hey, you've earned $100,000 a year. Go, no, you're going to have to work for it. And this new digitization of things, to me, one of the biggest opportunities of both wealth creation and education, the knowledge, the transfer of power is happening in this Web3. And yet there are people on the sidelines still asking themselves, how do I fit in? There are people waiting right now. And I'm not saying go buying a speculative cryptocurrency. I'm not a shiller. It's not what I do. I look at value, utility. You have a business. There are opportunities to build your business on blockchain technology, to give yourself a competitive edge, to stand out. And there are grants available in the blockchain ecosystem. There's also a plethora of institutions and mentors to help you. But it starts with you prioritizing your life. I get to work with some very unique people around the world, many high performance people. They know what they want. Now, they're impulsive. Sometimes you'll get what you want and you realize it ultimately wasn't what you want. So I would say to look at your day, turn it into a pie. I have a business partner of mine, Eric Weir, that wrote a book called Who's Eating Your Pie? And it creates a pie chart where who's taking a percentage of your pie every day and where's your time going? And that will ultimately determine if you're going to succeed, is who's getting your time.
Wow. So many great thoughts today. I'm really enjoying this. Dustin, just to get back a little on crypto and what is going on, we were talking a lot also with Sandi on our latest AMAs that it was in a way a difficult time because it's not such a positive situation. But right now it is important how you're thinking, what you're doing, how you're planning. How did you look at this situation? Is it an opportunity to learn or to just give up?
Yeah, I look at the opportunity itself and I still believe this, and that is for those that are patient, it still represents the greatest opportunity you'll probably ever have in your lifetime. If only to know more than everybody else. It makes you popular among your friends. It makes it a good conversation starter. Maybe in this world, now Web3 world, that you're not very talkative. Maybe you're an introvert. This knowledge gives you power to go create conversations. I mean, you could be at a taxi cab in Ireland and Iceland or in Ireland, and you can start talking about crypto. Someone goes, me too. You have immediate connections around the world. So I think that if someone's looking to make friends, they'll make friends. They say to have a friend, you got to be a friend. That you can get to know entire communities. You can hang out in the 3-air chat room and get to meet people. Some people might not be a good fit for you. Others, well, birds of a feather flock together. I think this represents the greatest time in history. I think right now, when everybody's afraid, when people are panicking, that's the time you should dig in and go, what are they so afraid of? Why are they scared? Why are they running away? You look at the stock market, the New York Stock Exchange. It was launched over 130 years ago. 130 years ago, yet people are racing and rushing out to go buy every month. I go, they still act like it's new. This is a baby asset class. It's just the beginning. I have a friend of mine that is one of the most prolific, most influential NFT collectors in the world. He is deemed to be the most influential. 30,000 NFTs, $100 million worth. And I will tell you, if you ask him, he would say, if you only knew how everything is getting digitized, every major brand and global influencer is trying to figure out how they fit in because it fixes a broken system. It allows transparency. It allows freedom.
Yes. The world is changing and everything around us is changing. But yet a lot of people do not know a lot about crypto, about blockchain at all, everything happening in this digital world, about, let's say, digital assets, NFTs, what will they bring to the future? So what do you think? What impact will they have?
So I think that right now, what each person should do that's hearing this is to learn one new thing, to dive into something that they just don't know enough about. And I get asked a lot of questions of things. My mentor, Gene Simmons, told me once, hey, Dustin, it's okay to say, I don't know. And no one will look down on you for saying, I don't know. And there's a lot of things I don't know. But each day when I hear something I don't know or I don't know enough about, I dig in. I'm curious about it because I know this, that my heirs right now and my future heirs, that what I'm doing today will make the impact. What I'm doing today could make the difference, that it could give them the edge. It could allow them to level up. So for those that are frustrated that they were handed a bad, let's say a bad set of cards or weren't given the life that they'd always dreamed, I go, well, this new digital world, it's an internet of connected things. It creates a level playing field. In this new world, you can create, you can be a part of, you can build, and there's no more excuses because your avatar will matter. The digital representation of you. And that's why the things that you're doing in this realm or this neighborhood, it will matter. And why you want to create a good bio for yourself, because it gets pulled into your avatar. And that's what the blockchain represents. It represents a public ledger. And for those of you who want to get down even further, think of it like Linux, open source.
Dustin, you have a lot of knowledge, but you have also a lot of experience. You have done so many different things in your life. I have also information. You have published a comic book. You're an author. You're a TV contributor, Gala Emcee. You're also the host of this highly regarded livestuff.com and bitcoin.com podcast. Would you say that everything that you're doing is making you now the person that you are, or still trying to find what you want to accomplish?
I love that. I'm a learner. I will tell you, the thing that gets me excited every day is I get to ask super smart people questions because I don't know. I only know based upon the variables I have. I only know based upon what I've read. And I will tell you, the media has this unique way of shifting you, of making the decision for you, indoctrination. When you get outside of that and you start to collect information from other sources, when you start to become really curious, you start to put together your own pieces and you come to your own conclusion. And what I do is I do things that inspire me. I'm at a stage in my life where, to me, it's all about, I read a quote and it went like this, that to start each day with a task completed, to find someone to help you through life, to know that life is not fair and that you're going to fail often. But if you take risk and you step up when the times are toughest, you face down the bullies. If you do this, then this generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what would have started here would have changed the world for the better. That is my philosophy, that if you do those things, if you start each day with that task completed and you find someone to help you through life, because life's tough. I started a website, lifestuff.com, to help others through their journey because I'm convinced that every story has a purpose and everyone has a story. And I think it's those stories that unite us. And it's not our strengths that unite us, it's our weaknesses. And there's communities out there that, just like you, they don't know enough about blockchain or crypto, and they're coming together to learn. That allows us to connect with each other, to figure out collectively. You go alone, you go far. Together, you go further.
Just one more question, Dustin. Did you ever consider about your legacy? What would you like it to be?
I have, and it's something that I call it your greatest aspiration. A person, when they set their goals, your greatest aspiration, in my opinion, should be the one that lives past you. It's the one that your heirs get impacted, the ones to make it easier for them. When I was a little boy, nearly 2 years, my mother left the family. The heart wants what the heart wants. She left for a partner, leaving my father, pretty dysfunctional dad, to take care of two little kids. He was a member of a pretty notorious gang. And then when I was 4 years old, I lost him for 16 years as he got sentenced. So I will tell you that my legacy, and the thing that is important to me, is to let others know that they're not alone. And then I understand it's hard. It's really tough, but not to become that volunteer victim. And that there's enough people around you that you can learn from. There's enough knowledge around you that you can take and you can implement in your life. And to me, I think that a great person draws a circle around his or herself, Anita, and they take care of people in that circle. And I'm able now to use my influence, like my little bit of influence in the world, to help to force my really super successful friends and rich buddies to give back. And they already do that stuff on their own. But to make the difference with what I can, because if you lack resources, be resourceful. And that's what I do. I'm just resourceful. I have an amazing network of some of the most beautiful people on the planet. We're all weird. We're all different, but we just seem to work together. It's the frequency. And when you find your frequency, stay on it.
Thank you very much, Dustin. Do tell us, where can we see you? Where can we follow you? Where can we learn from you?
So my website is dustinplantholt.com. I speak at events around the world. Actually, I take that back. I'm the MC or the moderator. I do my best to help others. I talk way too much, as you can tell. I just get very excited. And to me, passion is contagious. It sits on your shoulder and it likes to jump around. So you can find me at a number of events globally. But I'm sure you'll hear about me behind the scenes, making a difference and making an impact. As I would challenge each one of you as well. Donate your time, give back, make a difference. To me, that's what we need more than ever. We need a heart of givers, not takers.
And thank you very much for being part of 3 Year as an advisor. Your knowledge will be well used, and I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being with us today. And I do hope that there will be some other opportunity where we'll be able to talk again.
Anita, it was my pleasure. And thank all of you for tuning in to this AMA.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. And thanks for all of you, of course, for being with us, for following us, and stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up. Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.